All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo's Wrestling Room. We got a big show for you guys tonight here on this Wednesday night, August 3rd, 2022. Joined by Tony Gonzalez. How you doing, Dad?
Doing pretty good.
We also have a special guest today, young rising star in the independent scenes, pro wrestler Logan Myers. How you doing? Let me get that right. Loud and proud, Logan Myers.
Thank
How are you
you.
doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Oh, doing good. Dad, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, hey Logan, you got from what I understand, you got a real big weekend coming up this weekend.
Oh, yes, I do. Friday night, I will be in action at WCWO. Saturday, I got two shows. I got earlier in the day, BFMX at Lafayette, and then the Soul Fest in Anderson, and then for DCCW, and then Sunday, also DCCW over at the National Guard Armory. Both of those are benefit shows.
Yep, we'll be both those shows on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
Both the DCCW shows. That show Sundays for that little boy. I think that's going to be a pretty cool show.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm excited for both those shows. And BMFX. I'm really excited for that one, and obviously WCWO on Fridays.
Do you know who are you wrestling on Friday night at WCWO?
Luke Savage.
Okay.
Yes, I have not wrestled Luke Savage yet, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, that should be a real good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is this the first time that you've or first time, or how many times have you wrestled? 4 or 5 times in one weekend?
I've done it. I want to say maybe 5 times in my career so far, but not as often as I would like to.
Got Marcus and Kelly Fine in here in the chat group.
Do you like wrestling that many times in a weekend, or is there any problems doing that, or do you enjoy it?
I actually really enjoy it. It's kind of a bittersweet thing, having your match, hopping in the car, going to another show real quick. It's kind of an adrenaline rush. I really like doing that. I wish I had more weekends like that, but sometimes you have a small weekend where you have 2 shows, sometimes you have 4 shows.
Well, the nice thing is we're being there at WCWO, at least you always have at least one match a week.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Do you know who you're wrestling on the DCCW show on Saturday?
I do not.
What about BMFX?
Brett Havoc.
Oh, that'd be a good one to see too.
Yeah.
Have you wrestled Havoc before?
I have. I wrestled him at Thunder or Blunder back in July. I'm excited to wrestle Brett Havoc again. That was a real fun match, and I think me and Brett can go out there and kill it.
Do you prefer to know your opponent going in, or does it make a difference?
I do prefer to know. I like to if there's a flyer posted or a match graphic of me and my opponent, I like to share it, and I like to kind of save it. Maybe one day I can look back and see, oh, here's me, and say I was wrestling Dex. Here's me and Dex when we wrestled. I like to look at that stuff. It's kind of nostalgic in a way.
Yeah.
I know the last time you came on, it was close to a year ago. You hadn't been in the business a real long time. How much have things like changed? How has your perspective changed as you start to get more experience and you're learning the business better?
Well, I'm still very new at this. At the time I talked to you guys last year, I believe I was 3 months into the business. Now I'm a year and 3 months about. Really, I would say my perspective hasn't really changed but I have grown as a wrestler and definitely become more disciplined and more versatile and really able to do more, and give more to the fans.
What's the biggest change you think you've made?
I definitely talk a lot more. I talk a lot more in my matches. I talk a lot more on video. Um, I whether it's heckling Reggie or
He deserves it.
Everybody heckles Reggie.
taking the mic at Danville, because Danville, they don't really like me very much over there. So whether I'm doing that or telling Reggie he needs to wear a dress shirt or anything like that, that's really what's mostly changed.
What's been the hardest thing about the wrestling business?
Well, I gotta say, when I got injured, that was probably the hardest part because I'd never, even before I started wrestling, I never been injured before in my life. That was definitely something new, to come back from that. But really, it was a blessing in disguise because I got to commentate. WCWO let me kind of be on the commentating team there. I got to watch a lot of matches, and then the DCCW show I was out on injury on at Muncie Central. You guys let me commentate with Old Hollywood House, and then got to commentate the Carlito match. That was pretty cool. So really, just the injury. Other than that, I don't really have any complaints.
How has your arm been since the injury?
Oh, great. Finally got all my strength back into it. I can obviously do everything I was doing in the ring beforehand, and then just recently started hitting the weights again. I'm feeling comfortable with that. So my elbow feels great.
When you first got back in there, was you a little nervous about your elbow?
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely nervous about it. My first match back was a pretty intense match too, against Scotty Young. So that definitely brought a lot out of me. That's a pretty big match to have when you first come back from injury.
Have your goals changed at all since like you first started till now?
Not really. My bucket list is pretty much the same. As far as wrestling overseas in England and Japan and stuff like that, and then hopefully one day getting that golden contract. You know what I mean?
Is it hard to get your name out there and get booked on different shows so you get in front of different fans?
It definitely is. There's a lot of things that I feel like go into it. Obviously, how you are in the ring, but also your look and your ability to talk. Which I feel like I've got all three of those things down pretty good. I'm very confident, and I'm hoping to get out more. Hopefully, branch out east a little more, and then out west, and then overseas.
Have you wrestled any out of the state of Indiana yet?
Yes, I wrestled in Ohio, Michigan, and Illinois, and then I'm hoping to get out to like Pennsylvania, down to Kentucky, over in Wisconsin. There's a bunch of places that have promotions that I'm very interested in. And then I'd love to conquer the East Coast, like New York, New Jersey, Boston, Maryland, all that stuff.
Go ahead, Deb.
I imagine that's difficult to. I mean, I'm not saying impossible. Difficult to break into those because just like Indiana, you've got your own circuit, and they use a lot of the same guys. Not, every region in Indiana uses the exact same guys, but I'm
Hmm.
sure like New York, New Jersey, places like that, they've got their nucleus of people they normally use. So I imagine it can be difficult to break into that.
Yeah. It definitely is. I do pay attention to a lot of the product out there, and I don't see a lot of talent like me out there. Just in terms of presentation, really, my presentation is very different from most wrestlers. So I feel like I would definitely bring something to the table on any show that I'm put on.
I definitely see that.
When you wrestle out of state, is there a big difference in like any of the styles, or is there any big differences from like wrestling out of state to when you're here in town?
Uh, Ohio and Ohio and Illinois were kind of the same. Um, as far as our style here in Indiana, Michigan was a lot more. How do I put this? It was a lot more of that PWG style that you see. It was a lot more fast paced, kind of go go go. Whereas Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois are still kind of the grit and the grind, if you know what I mean.
Which do you prefer?
I like all styles of wrestling. My favorite style is the English style catch wrestling that you see over in England, or the old school,
Yeah.
like Dynamite Kid and Johnny Saint and Marty Jones and William Regal really perfected. And then obviously Bret Hart and Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy brought it over here to the United States, pretty popular. That's my favorite style of wrestling. And then obviously strong style that from Japan, and then lucha libre, and then the old school Memphis stuff. Like I love all kinds of wrestling, really.
Do you watch like WWE and AEW and stuff now?
Yeah, I pay attention to it. I try to catch it when I can.
Yeah, I don't know if you've watched it, but you might want to check out WWE NXT UK.
Oh, I'm a big NXT UK guy.
It's
Definitely.
outstanding. I wish
It is.
I wish more people would watch it because it's outstanding.
Yeah,
Yes,
I really like it as well.
I think the European scene is amazing. I really want to be a part of the European scene. It'd just be kind of hard being an American.
Yeah. Well, they've been doing a lot more. I've noticed a lot of NXT 2.0 have been going over to the UK and performing over there. So they've been mixing it a lot more. So
Yeah.
definitely different.
Yeah, I think that's awesome because it gives guys like Pete Dunne is on SmackDown regularly now.
Yep.
Yeah, I love watching him wrestle. I
Oh.
like that style.
That's my favorite style, probably.
Yeah, I think things are gonna open up even more with Triple H at the helm. You're gonna see a lot more different things, and that's good for independent wrestlers too, because I think
Yeah.
they're gonna start looking at independent wrestlers more again since
Mhm.
Vince.
It's definitely an exciting time to be a wrestler with all that happening, and then obviously AEW still being a thing, and then you still have your Impacts and your MLWs. Like, it's very exciting. Honestly, I'm waiting to see what the future instills for all of us.
Yeah, there's a lot, and like you said, there's a lot of organizations besides AEW and WWE,
Mhm.
like NWA, Impact. We've been watching Impact quite a bit
Yeah,
here lately, because we like watching Ace Austin on there because he's been on a couple shows we've done. But
yeah.
Have you ever thought about maybe a place like Game Changer Wrestling? I know they do a lot of wrestling, but they also do a lot of deathmatch stuff also.
uh, I would like to get out to Game Changer. That'd be pretty cool. That's definitely a good way to get your name out there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know Cole Radrick has been wrestling for them a lot.
Oh yeah,
Matter of fact, Chris, I don't know if you've seen that. He was in a bad car accident.
I did
no,
not see that.
I did not see that.
He's okay. It totaled his vehicle, but
Oh,
he was very fortunate because I seen a picture of the vehicle. It was
Huh.
bad.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep.
So we watched that one a couple weeks ago, and them dudes are nuts during them death matches, stabbing each other with them damn
Like to.
light
yeah.
tubes. Hell, the one guy from Indiana had to go to the hospital. Did you see that? Where
Oh,
Hoodfoot got cut?
yeah, I saw that.
For the
Well,
state.
we were watching that live, and you could just see it flapping. I'm like, oh my gosh,
It was
Man,
rough.
that shit's crazy.
yeah, definitely.
Have you done any like hardcore or death matches or anything like that?
I have not.
Would that be something that you would do?
Um, I I don't want to. I don't want to say. Never say never. But at the moment, it doesn't really interest me. But I don't want to seem like I don't have an open mind to things. So we'll see what the future instills.
What about more traditional? I'm not talking about death matches, but more like street fights and those type matches.
Oh, I'd definitely be up for those if the scenario's right, the right opponent, and all that good stuff.
And, Marcus Fine said your favorite match and favorite opponent.
Ooh, there's a few matches and opponents that come to mind. So first of all, I'm gonna start out. Anytime I'm in a tag team match, obviously, if it's me and whoever decides to be my partner that night against the highlight reel, I've had a bunch of matches with them and on a lot of different shows with a lot of different partners, and always love to wrestle the highlight reel. Those guys are great. So singles opponents, favorite matches. I'm gonna name 3, actually 4. First, Dutch Boy Platinum. He and I wrestled in Sheridan on a White River show on the 4th of July, and there was a crap load of people out there. I walked out, and it was easily the biggest crowd I've wrestled in front of, and they were into everything. Me and Dutch Boy were the first people out there, and we went out there, and it was just an amazing feeling. Another person, Jay Beeve. I've had 2 singles matches with him at WCWO, and those were both great. Enjoyed those a lot. Beeve is another guy. And then anytime I've wrestled Blake Money Wright, specifically, I would have to say the DCCW show from last October, where my boot came off.
Yep.
That was a pretty fun time.
Had a pretty good crowd at that show as well.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
even my dad went and saw that one. Now he's always asking if Blake's kicking people. And then I'd have to say Jordan James, the 2 out of 3 falls match I had with him at WCWO, that and Jordan James. If you're an independent professional wrestler in this area, all 4 of those guys, and if you do tag team wrestling, the twins, those are guys you definitely want to wrestle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Craven said, "What about the Crossroad Demon? He's in England training. He's in England right now training."
I've been on a show at the Crossroads Demon, but I've never wrestled him. Hopefully, when he comes back from England, he knows some catch wrestling, and we can get in there and I can see what he's made of.
Eddie Rage said, "Wrestlers stabbing each other. Is that even considered wrestling at that point?"
I mean, to each is their own.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge anybody.
And there's some really good wrestlers that do it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Dale Patrick loves doing it, and
oh yeah, Dale Patrick's is great. John Moxley used to do it all the time on the independent scene.
I watched John Moxley
He's
do
still
one last year.
Yeah.
Year in the independent scene. He's nuts.
he's the he's the game changer heavyweight champion right now.
Oh yeah.
Moxley is, so he's crazy. So I don't know. I did see where Marcus said that there was and I'd heard this also, 1,000+ fans at that show in Sheridan.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was 1,000 or a little less, but man, that like I said, that was a pretty crazy feeling,
Yeah, I wish
especially when you're in the ring and they're all surrounding you, and
Yeah.
it was just magic.
I wish we would have went to that show.
It was definitely a fun time.
Yeah,
I
we were busy that weekend.
Yeah,
I was in Chicago, so
yeah.
Do you have any other big matches coming up that besides this weekend?
Not off the top of my head right now. I'd have to go back through my schedule.
You
So
said you have Luke Savage tomorrow. You don't know Saturday, or you wrestle Brett Havoc on Saturday, but you don't know for DCCW. So
Yep.
I know the first two opponents. Them are going to be them should be great matches because with your ability and then their ability, them guys' ability. I
Mhm.
like. I really like. I'm gonna watch that Friday night if you guys have it streaming. Unfortunately, I don't have a car on Fridays,
Hmm.
so it's hard for us to get down there. But we usually watch it every week. But last week they were working on something that wasn't live.
Yeah, I'm excited for both of those. And then DCCW always gives me a great opponent, so I'm excited to see who I wrestle on both those nights.
I think Saturday night will be probably going to be a pretty big crowd being at that festival.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's like a 4-day festival thing, so it should, and that's like the main thing on Saturday night. So it should be a great show.
hopefully the weather's going to be good. They keep switching it back and forth, so we'll see.
oh yeah.
Go ahead,
Is-
Dave.
Who's the? I know, and I don't honestly. I wasn't with Chris at that time when you interviewed the last time. Who's the big opponent that you haven't faced yet that you really, or you don't have to be just one. It can be more than one that you haven't faced yet that you would like to.
Ooh,
It may have changed since then too, because you may have faced some of those guys.
yeah, big opponent.
It could be independent. It could be anybody, and it could be more than one.
Okay. Well, I will say I saw Jordan Dye as having a open challenge for the best technical wrestler at Summit Pro. I would like to step up to that challenge in the future. But as far as like the independent scene, Ace Perry is a big one for me.
I'd really like to see that.
Yeah, Ace Perry, Aaron Williams. Big opponents. As far as I would say, my dream opponent right now is probably Ricky Starks. I'm gonna shoot for the moon on that one. That's probably my dream opponent.
You saying Ace Perry is really intrigued me because I would love to see that.
Yeah, I feel like me and Ace Perry have very similar personas, and I don't know. I was in high school when I first saw Ace Perry, so that would be pretty cool to be able to wrestle him.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. I agree with that 100%. That was one that I really didn't think about, but yeah.
Now, did you do like amateur wrestling in school or?
I did for a little bit. I didn't stick with it, but I was pretty good at it when I did it. I won county. Yay. That was like 7th grade. I think I was wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt because I got on the team at like the last minute. Then I did judo for a little while. I was a pretty active kid, but I was never like the star athlete in high school.
With the judo and some of the amateur wrestling background, do you think that helped you when you went into pro wrestling?
Yes, the little that I did learn while I was around it, it definitely helped a lot.
And
What's
what? Oh, go ahead, Deb.
what's been the hardest thing for you to learn in the wrestling business?
Mm. Really, just going out there, just really breathing. Like a lot of people forget to just breathe and relax, and you know what I mean. Just
Yeah,
kind of
Yep.
take a deep breath,
take it all in.
take it all in. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't overwhelm yourself. That's the big one. Not overwhelming myself.
Marcus finds you're working Ruthless Domination at Warrior Pro 12.
Oh yes,
You and JB for the titles.
yeah. Like I said, the town of Danville, they have something against me and JB. We were successful in the last time at WPW, but I guess Buck Sexton just wants us to lose really bad, so he's putting us in the ring with those two monsters again.
I think the two monsters are going to get the same what they got at the last WPW.
You know, I would like to think so. I'd like to think me and JB are both very witty and pretty smart guys. So hopefully we walk away with the tag team straps, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get on the mic and give the town of Danville a piece of my mind again.
Yeah. Do you which do you prefer? Would you prefer to be a face or a heel?
Really, it just depends on where I'm at and how the crowd takes to me. You know, some people love when I come out in the yellow leather jacket or the red leather jacket and with the glasses and the flashiness, and some people just don't like it. It's really up to them. You can love me or hate me.
Marcus said good matches against Vinny and Mac this past weekend.
Oh yeah, those were both fun. Max Sterling's a great dude, really fun guy to wrestle. Vinny Vachetti, he's an old timer. He's an old salt dog, as I like to call him, but he was a lot of fun too.
Was that your first time getting to work with Vinny?
Yes, and it was my first time with Max Sterling too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like both of them. Vinny got to hang out with him a little bit over a weekend out at Mike King's house, and got to talk to him a little bit. That's the first time I really got to talk to him. He's a pretty cool guy.
Oh yeah,
Steve Hedrick said, "Logan, my friend, what's up with the hair?"
I'm growing it out, and it's naturally curly, so it just kind of poofs.
um, how'd you get in the wrestling business?
Well, obviously, like most people, I've been a fan my whole life. I first discovered wrestling at the very young age of 3, and then when I was 19, I emailed White River Wrestling, um, and eventually I was trained by Jake Oman.
I think that's a good. I think he's one of the best trainers around here. I really believe that from what I've seen. And I see that he's getting ready to go travel again and do some coaching and training. I don't know. Omen's a guy I feel. I don't know. I still don't know why he's not on TV. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
How did you hear about the White River Wrestling?
Well, when I was in high school, I went to a show they ran in Pendleton. That's where I first saw Ace Perry, and then that's where I first saw guys like Dylan Bostic, Jake Something, Jake Oman, a lot of guys, and I saw something about like Coach Oman on Instagram or something like that. When I when I was 19, a little after I graduated high school, and I just they had their email and I just emailed them, and eventually the person that reached out to me was Jake, and we met at a Starbucks. I think we talked about wrestling for like 3 hours. Then I went to a show with him, and then the rest is history.
Uh, when you were a kid, were you a WWE fan, or were you?
Yes. So I was not even 1 years old when the invasion and WCW fell and all that. I was a little guy. So I was a big WWE fan. That was the first one I obviously discovered, and then I discovered TNA right around 2006. It was like right when Kurt Angle got there. That's when I started watching TNA, and then eventually when I was in elementary school, I discovered the Indies. I discovered Ring of Honor, and then eventually I discovered Japanese wrestling and European wrestling, and then I just watched. By the time I was a senior in high school, I was watching it all.
What's your favorite to watch?
Um, when I was in high school, my favorite was New Japan. When Kenny Omega was like the champion, and Cody was tearing it up in Ring of Honor and stuff like that. That was as a fan, that was my favorite. That was some of my favorite memories. And then AEW first started like right around when I graduated high school, so that was an awesome time to be a fan.
Go ahead, Deb.
Do you have a favorite all time wrestler?
I have two. It's a tie, and this is going to shock a lot of people. They are popular answers, but the fact that these two are tied for me, it's going to shock some people. My two all-time favorites are Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. So
I could, with your love of wrestling, what you've explained, and then also kind of your style, I can see that answer.
yeah, it's just they were bitter rivals back in the day. So when I tell people
Yeah.
that, they're like, "So are you Team Shawn or are you Team Bret?" And I'm like, I can't really pick one. I like them for different reasons. Don't get me wrong, but I can't really pick one.
Yeah, Bret
Oh,
was
Marcus Fine asked, have you ever worked Nate Matthews or Sage Phillips?
I have not. I would love to wrestle both of those guys. If Nate Matthews keeps punking on Dutch Boy at Warrior, maybe me and Nate Matthews gonna have to lock up.
I'd like to see that as well.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Dad?
no. I think I'm pretty good. I
Uh,
know Chris was a big Bret Hart fan.
I was a
growing up.
big Bret Hart fan.
Yeah. So I didn't grow up watching Bret Hart. He retired before I was born, but I was a big Shawn Michaels fan, and I had a DVD set called The Ladder Match that WWE came out with, and the first match on there was Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart in a ladder match on a random like house show. And I remember I was like probably 6 at the time, so I was seeing the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, you know, wrestling like John Cena and being in Triple H on Raw. So I was very like, oh yay, Shawn Michaels. And then I saw him with Sherry Martel, and my face flared up, and I was all mad. I was like, this isn't the Shawn Michaels I know, right? And then Bret Hart came out, and like with the glasses and the pink and the leather jacket, and he was the Intercontinental Champion. I was like, man, this guy is the coolest person I've ever seen before in my life. And from then I was hooked.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that about Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I think that was the very first ladder match. Of course,
Yeah, I believe it was the first one in WWE for sure.
yeah, because a lot of people think it was Razor Ramon and Bret. But I mean, excuse me, Shawn. but
Yeah.
but the idea came up, and them two kind of perfected it.
Yes,
on,
they definitely put it on the map. That's for sure.
on the road, house shows and stuff, and then it turned into being Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels later on pay-per-view.
Yes.
That match was awesome as well.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite all-time match?
Ooh. So being a big Brett and Shawn fan, obviously, my favorite match between those two is probably obviously the hour-long Iron Man match. You can't forget that. But their match at Survivor Series '92, that one I thought that's my personal favorite of them. And then Brett and Austin and at WrestleMania 13, Shawn and Taker in the first Hell in a Cell, and they're both their WrestleMania matches. Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. If we go over to Japan, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne from NXT TakeOver Chicago. That match was great. I loved that match. I was 16 at the time, and my mind was just blown.
Yeah, mine was too. And I'm a lot older than you, and my mind was blown.
Marcus Fine said thoughts on the Montreal screw job.
Well, I listen to all kinds of wrestling podcasts. So I watched the Dark Side of the Ring on it. Man, what a crazy time for the wrestling business. The Montreal Screwjob, whether you're a Bret Hart fan or a Shawn Michaels fan, it changed the business forever. I do feel like that's how we got Mr. McMahon. That's how we got the Mr. McMahon. It was kind of revealed that he was the evil boss, and then the rise of Stone Cold and the Attitude Era changed the business forever. It's definitely has its landmark.
The only bad part, and that is that the sad part is that was nobody would have thought of at the time, but that was kind of the downfall of Bret Hart's career. I mean, not downfall, but
Yeah.
his career started going down at WCW.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't, he didn't have a rise in WCW at all.
Yeah, his career definitely wasn't the same.
No, and I don't think he really didn't want to be in WCW. I don't think.
Yeah.
But that's the only sad part of it. But
Mm-hmm.
Blake Wright said, "Who's your best friend?"
Oh man, whew, that's a tough one. I have seen Wrestling with Shadows. I love that documentary. My best friend. Whew. I gotta say, Blake probably takes the cake. I don't know. Blake, my dad's dog Greta, she's great. My dad's dog Jax. Whenever I go see my old man,
so
I love his dogs.
You're comparing Blake to a dog, or?
Well, I'm just saying, like, best friends. Probably get a hateful text for that one.
Well, do you have anything else that you want to talk about, and also plug yourself and tell everybody where they can find you at?
I mean, not really, unless you guys have any questions, or if there's any people watching who have any questions.
Follow-up question: who is your road wife?
My road wife. Well, that would probably be Blake too. Me and Blake are always in the car together.
It probably makes it easier road traveling. At least you have somebody to travel with and have to do all the traveling by yourself.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's always a good time too. Blake and I. He lets me be the DJ. Thank God. I have a very broad spectrum in taste in music, so I've introduced him to a lot of cool things, and then obviously the conversations you have with people and the bonds you make are timeless.
Now you've got me interested now. So you're saying you're the DJ, so I would
Yeah.
you're implying that Blake's taste in music is not very good?
I'm not gonna say it wasn't very good before he met me, but it was very like. So I'm 21, obviously. It was very like college kid, stereotypical college kid. A lot of main, like super mainstream artists.
So you've opened him up, huh?
I opened them up, and I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, music made in the 20th century is way better than music made in the 21st century. I live by that.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah. Oh God. And leave it to a Blake and Logan road story. Oh jeez. Oh man. What's a Blake and Logan road story?
I can tell a Blake story on when he was doing live commentary.
Oh yeah.
But that
I
little
was-
boy,
Yeah, I was with him. Yeah, the kid.
Logan was on there too.
His great interviewing skills. It was fantastic.
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
It was pretty
That
funny.
kid hit me with something I did not expect.
No, and Blake didn't either.
No.
I
So
love
funny Blake and Logan story. When I hurt my elbow, party at Mega. I don't know what that is. So Blake and Logan story. When I hurt my elbow, I was with Blake and the ring announcer at WCWO, Tim, or Too Loud Timmy Jackson, whatever you want to call him. So obviously, I get it popped back into place. We leave the hospital and all that, and I'm just sitting in the car in the passenger seat. Blake's in the back seat, and I look at the speedometer, and Tim's a fast driver. Very fast driver. And now this was up in South Bend, but we left South Bend around, I want to say 3:30 or 4. We were home probably by 6. And South Bend's a long drive. Yeah. Telling you.
Back
If you ever are in.
Wait a minute, you live in the Indianapolis area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were back all the way to Indianapolis. Damn, he was flying.
Oh yeah, he was flying. It was like putting a brick on the freaking gas pedal. And also when I hurt my elbow, Tim bought me my favorite beer. He bought me a lot of it. And it was the same night as WrestleMania Night 1, so that was a pretty fun night, yeah. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was flying, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's almost a 3-hour drive from where we live. It's another hour to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I guess he was determined to get me home. I was still in my gear too. Wonder if Blake's gonna ask another question.
Oh, he said, tell him about what happened on the way to the hospital.
Well, my elbow was dangling like this, and our friend hit a speed bump pretty fast, so you can imagine what happened there. But we get in the hospital, and this hospital, so we get to the front desk, the reception area, and they tell us we have to go all the way around, go back outside, drive around. So he just wheels me So he just wheels me. He just wheels me around the building, and then we get up to the emergency room area, and there's an active shooter in the parking garage. So that was an interesting scenario. Then when I woke up from my slumber and I was like all, on the pain meds and stuff, I was singing David Bowie. What said as soon as you get injured. Oof. I don't know if we can reveal that one.
Works fine. Said that's South Bend.
Yeah, it was a mess. It was in the hospital, like right in the middle of the city. And I know South Bend's not a giant city, but that hospital, oh my gosh, it's like a maze.
Hell, my girlfriend's brother got shot and killed in South Bend.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy.
touche, sir. Man, wasn't he like trolling you guys when you had Jake Carter on here too?
A little bit.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Totally great. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, you got anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Well, Logan, tell everybody where they can find Loud and Proud Logan Myers at.
Obviously, you can find me on Facebook at Logan Myers. You can find me on Instagram at LPL Myers or LP Logan Myers on Instagram. And then, honestly, I forget my Twitter handle. My bad. And then I do have T-shirts on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, finally, fans, you can quit heckling me about merch. I do have merch on the way. So that's pretty exciting. And knowing me as you see me heckle Reggie about his fashion, these T-shirts are going to be pretty dope.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him.
Yeah.
Look. Now you got Jake Carter in here. No one will buy them.
Oh man.
Yeah. Jake Carter. He's probably at the kickstand having that unbreakable burger or something. Danville, Illinois. Well, about as pleasant as Danville, Indiana. So I'm from Daleville, right?
Yeah.
So the beef with Danville goes way back to elementary school when it's like a snow day and you're like looking at the news and you're like, I don't want to go to school. And it says Danville closed. And then you have to wait all the way until it gets like back to Daleville. And then it just says us for a 2-hour delay. So I'm angry because Danville doesn't have to go to school, but Daleville has to go to school. So the beef with Danville goes way back. I will never like Danville, Indiana. Danville, Illinois, they didn't like me either. I came out and they were booing me. So I didn't end up getting the win there, but we'll work on that. Next time I return there, I'll get the win.
Real quick, what do you think the biggest match you've had has been?
Probably my 2 out of 3 falls match with Jordan James. That was a pretty big match. A lot of build, a lot of hype. And I know a lot of the fans were genuinely invested in it.
That's definitely what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank everybody for watching.
Or when I pinned Jake Carter in his hometown. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Hey, the black market was beating up on Jake Carter quite a bit over the
last. Yeah, and I pinned him. People forget that. So whenever I I can beef up a little. I can beef up to be a heavyweight. And I can smack around Jake Carter in front of his hometown. That'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Since he wants to say nobody will buy my T-shirts.
Maybe bring the belt back to the black market.
Yeah, bring it back. Then we will all. I'll be a double champ. I'll have both belts. You know, that'd be pretty cool.
Have you tag teamed with anybody else besides JB?
Yes, I've tagged with Dutch Boy. I've tagged with Blake. I've tagged with Corey Dillinger a couple times. Trying to think. Me and Rachel have tagged a couple times. I think me and Rachel are undefeated as a tag team. That's a dream team right there.
Also wanted to tell you, you had mentioned it earlier, but we kept talking. When you were hurt and you were doing that commentary there at WCWO, you was doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because that was when I was sick. So I was watching a lot of it online.
Yeah.
So. And then that night, you guys were all at that Central show, and everybody was switching out doing commentary. That stuff was funnier than hell.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that kid, man. Never forget that.
I want because I know that Blake changes his names occasionally. You know what he wants to be called. I think he should change it to a giant POS because when he said that he felt like a giant POS.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I loved it. I loved it. So I think he should, when he's introduced to the ring, he should be introduced to the giant POS. I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, he said that when that boy goes, I feel like a giant piece of shit now.
Yeah,
that was definitely awkward.
Oh yeah, it was.
I was like, whoa, and then I think Primo and Epico came out, and I was like, well, here's Primo and Epico.
Yeah.
And then Dex came over and sat down.
Oh yeah, I was just like, ugh. Okay.
And he brought it up again. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
Jake said, hey, you hear what he said about his mom?
I was like, man, hopefully that kid's mom doesn't listen to the show.
that was
funny.
I was when I watched it back later that night when I got home, I was cracking up.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's definitely funny, that's for sure.
So we've had some good times traveling around and going to all the different promotions. And I know you wrestle a lot of them because we see you most of the time, about almost everywhere we go.
Yeah, usually at DCCW or any other place, I'm in a good mood. Anytime I'm at Warrior, I'm in a bad mood. Like I said, that town of Danville and their resident hero, Jake Carter. I don't get it. Then obviously the kickstand, that place. Like when there was that big fight at the kickstand, I don't know if you guys saw that video, the black market. I was not there. I was picking up my leather jacket at the dry cleaners. So I was not there. I'm definitely not afraid of Jake Carter or any other guy at Warrior. Just, sometimes people aren't worth it.
I would like to see you in the ring for the chance at the championship.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Most definitely.
Especially if I won it, because if you win championships, you get more money.
Yep.
You can always need more money.
Yeah, more money, more entrance gear. Sign me up.
But all right, I think we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. You'll be able to watch Logan Myers wrestle plenty this weekend if you want. He's wrestled Friday in Indianapolis, WCWO. If you haven't been at WCWO, you need to go check it out. It's one of the best organizations around. Then you got two DCCW shows Saturday and Sunday. We'll be at both those shows. And then can't forget about BMFX. They always put on a good show in Lafayette as well. So it's going to be a busy weekend. You're going to be sore on Monday.
Perhaps.
I don't know how you guys take them chops. I took those 3 that night. And, hey, that was enough.
Yeah.
But we're going to show tonight at 8 o'clock. We are going to replay the last DCCW show from the Juneteenth Festival in Muncie, Indiana. So if you haven't seen that, watch it tonight. Logan's on that show as well.
Yep.
And then we're going to show that tonight. Just kind of getting ready for this weekend for DCCW, and we're going to show another one on Friday night. And I think Thursday night or tomorrow night we're going to be in Anderson,
A-Town.
Let me look this up real quick because I gotta make a flyer for it, but I can go ahead and announce it. I forget what name of the restaurant. We're going to be at Build Your Own Burrito in Anderson at 1023 Meridian Street tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We'll be broadcasting live from there, talking about the big show Saturday night in Anderson. I know DCCW owner or guys that run it, Terry Coons, Mike King, all of them will be there. I'm not sure who else, but I know we'll be there tomorrow at 6 p.m. So show us for that, or if you want to watch it, join us for that. I don't know how long we'll be live. I just know he said at 6. And since he said at 6, that means it could be 6:30, maybe 7. You never know with Mike. He might call me at 5:30. Hey, I'll be there in about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Mike and Terry can tell you who I'm wrestling.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Much love to Mike and Terry. Those guys are great.
Yep.
I'll ask him tomorrow. And if he tells me, I'll let you know.
Sweet.
Yeah, I like both them guys. They're great guys. Actually, man, everybody we met in the wrestling business has treated us great. So I mean, we can't really complain about anything.
Yeah, everybody but Jake Carter.
All right, but we will be back at 8 o'clock with the DCCW show from Juneteenth Festival in Muncie. Join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. for that. We'll also be live tonight at 11 p.m. for GSR Gonzo Sports Room, our sports talk show. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, like and follow buttons on Facebook. We'd greatly appreciate it. Again, I want to thank Logan for joining us, and you're welcome to come back on anytime.
Yep, definitely.
Everybody have a great day, and we will see you guys next time.